Clever Tortoise.
"See how big I am,"
cried the elephant one day.
"I'm stronger than any of you little animals."
And a great big elephant-sized crashing and trampling and spoiling and stamping began in the bushes. Och! It was bad. And it was catching. "See how huge I am," cried Hippopotamus the next day. "I am stronger than any of you little animals." And a great, huge, hippopotamus-sized splashing and bubbling and churning started in the waters of Lake Nyasa. It grew worse. Everyone grew frightened. They called for a meeting. "What shall we do?" they asked one another. "That elephant and that hippo are both bullies." All the animals thought. Clever Tortoise thought too. That tortoise. His head is small, but his brains are big and strong. "Ha!" he said, after just a little while. "Let's play a trick on them and bring them down a peg or two." Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Clever Tortoise led the others through the bush to find the elephant. "Mr. Mighty Elephant," Clever Tortoise called, "I hear you are the strongest. Will you fight a tug-of-war with me?"
"You,"
snorted the elephant.
"a little teeny tortoise, fight a tug-of-war with me?"
The elephant trumpeted with laughter, rolled over and over on the ground, and laughed for an hour and 5 minutes. "I will meet you right here at sun-up tomorrow with a rope." Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Now Clever Tortoise took the others to the water to find Hippopotamus. "Mrs. Fine Hippopotamus," Clever Tortoise said, "I hear you are the strongest. Will you fight a tug-of-war with me?" "You!" scoffed Hippopotamus. "A teeny-weeny creature like you! Fight a tug-of-war with me?" And she rolled over and over with laughter for so long that the water in the lake began to resemble the waves in a sea. "I will meet you right here at sun-up tomorrow with a rope." That night, Clever Tortoise, Rabbit, Warthog, Lizard, and the others stayed awake. My, what dying and rustling, what rolling and twisting, what knotting and plaiting of long, strong tree vines there was, all through the star time, to weave one long, strong rope. Ha! The sun rose, and the blue water of Lake Nyasa turned to red and then to gold. Elephant rose. Hippopotamus rose too. "Good morning, Mrs. Elephant," Clever Tortoise said cheerfully. "Will you take the end of this rope? Then we can begin."
"Ha!"
snorted Elephant.
"What nonsense this is! I will pull you over quicker than a hummingbird beats its wings."
But where do you think Clever Tortoise and his friends went with the other end of their long rope? Ha! "Good morning, Mrs. Hippopotamus," Clever Tortoise said cheerfully. "Will you take the end of this rope? Then we can begin." "Humph!" snorted Hippo. "I will pull you faster than a fish can jump over a frog." But that boastful elephant and proud hippopotamus, they had one enormous surprise coming their way. Grunted elephant. Groaned hippo. Gasped elephant. "Yah!" moaned hippo. And the tug-of-war went on. And each of them thought, "This tiny tortoise is strangely very strong." The sun climbed higher and higher till it was time for it to start setting. Ooh, and it was hot. The tug-of-war was still on. The rope still stayed tight. "Enough," said Clever Tortoise, and he cut the rope with a little stone axe. Crash! Elephant fell, and he bumped his big swollen fat head on a rock. Splash! Hippopotamus fell into the water, smacking her big fat body on the water, creating huge waves. Ooh! The tiny fish was so scared. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Clever Tortoise went to visit Elephant in the bush. He stood there with his arms akimbo, pretending to look all-powerful. "Quicker than a hummingbird beats its wings," he called. Elephant just stared at the tortoise. Where did he hide his strength? In his toes? Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Clever Tortoise went to visit Hippopotamus by the water. "Faster than a fish can jump over a frog," he called. Hippo just stared at the tortoise. Where did he hide his strength? Underneath his shell? That night, Elephant and Hippopotamus both slept a deep tug-of-war sleep. But the smaller animals stayed awake yet another night. My, what clapping and swinging! What dancing and singing! What jumping and cartwheeling happened in the moonlight! "You clever, clever tortoise!" cheered Rabbit, Warthog, Lizard, Snake, and Chungu, the little black ant, and all the others. That was one good trick. And that was how the quarrel was mended. See, all the animals are happy again. Kwaheri ya kuo nana wanangu. So long, children, till we meet again.